Hey, Bay, have you tuned in to Let's Talk Show? Hosted by yours truly, Media Bay. Your chatty Afro-Latina that siempre has something to say. Let's Talk airs live and can be replayed on Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube, Twitch. Just search Media Bay. If you're interested in sponsoring an episode, just hit me up on heymediabay.com. And for tonight's Let's Talk, I decided to invite my media fam, Jay Bell, the artist. And we're just gonna talk about 2020 so far. See how far we've come, or have we? Like, share, comment, and let's talk. See you, babe. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk. Listen, we are through the week. It is Thursday, at least today. When you guys play this back, it'll be another day. But I just want to say, welcome to Let's Talk. Listen, make sure you guys know the process. Share, like, comment, join the conversation. Tonight's conversation is going to be fun. The goal is to let's just talk. Let's just talk about how are we surviving barely 2020. And keep in mind that Let's Talk is streaming right now as we speak on YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, Facebook, and Twitch. So you can tune in, share. If you want to join the conversation, I can bring up your comments. We can hear you give your opinion on some of these topics. We're going to be looking at 2020 till now, okay? If there's anything that sticks out to you guys of what you've seen, what you've heard, of what you want to talk about, listen, put it in the comments. Let us know. We definitely would like to discuss it and talk about it. For those that would be interested in being a sponsor, make sure you visit heymediabay.com. I also have to give a huge shout out to my artist, my amazing artist that will be hitting my Hey Bay Live show that I'm doing next week. I'm really excited. It's going to be a virtual concert. You'll be able to watch these amazing ladies hit the stage. I can't wait for you guys to hear them. They're so dope. They're indie recording artists. So I just hope that you guys hear what I hear. And I'm doing it August 26th, which is actually Women's Equality Day. Fun fact, it is the day that it became official for women to vote. It originally was supposed to get passed August 19th, but the person that was supposed to make it official wasn't there, so it wasn't official, little minute things. So August 25th actually became the day that they passed it, and they kind of made it official for women to vote and have the ability to, voice that. So enough about all of that. I'm excited to start talking because I'm pretty sure, I feel like time's going to fly by the time we get even into 3 or 4 of these topics. But my guest for tonight, Jay Bell, the artist, part of our media fam. Listen, I'm all about I love connecting and networking and working with other fellow media personalities. And this young man is very vibrant. He's very smart and intellectual as well. So this is going to be a very, very fun but informative conversation. So let me bring him on. He could introduce himself. I will stop doing the talking. Let's bring him on. Hey, what's good?
I love the intro that you gave me, though. I'm loving the intro. Stop. You got to stop that. Just stop.
How are you?
Oh,
sorry. I said, how are you?
What's going on? I'm good, man. Jay Bell, the artist. Ladies, please say the artist, man. All the way from Cincinnati, Ohio, down here in Palm Beach, Florida. I'm excited to be here, talk to Media Bay. I'm excited about the content. I think this is what we need to have, more discussions, man, about easy issues, tough issues, hard issues, and because conversation with the nation. If we don't talk to each other, we don't know what the hell going on. So I'm happy to be here once again.
Right. So I will say in one word, which might be hard, in one word, give me a word of how 2020 has felt or been for you.
2020 has been for me.
One word.
I don't know. I would say, because I look at it a different way. 2020 as far as me as an individual, not what's happening.
Not what's just how for you. One word.
I would say awakening.
Okay, I like that. My word is a little bit special. Jumanji. Okay, I just.
That was in the back though. At the end, always at the end.
All year, every time something happens, and it's like, what? I just go, somebody rolled the dice.
Another one.
Oh my god. Right. So let's just start it. So Mother Nature gave us a sign at the beginning of the year, going into the beginning of the year, with the wildfires, which I'm an animal person. So to me, koalas are like super cute. So I was like, oh.
Not the koalas.
The koalas. Kangaroos. I'm sorry. Kangaroos are the thugs of the Australia. They just
be slap boxing.
So they could sit there. But yeah, that was something that was just very interesting. And I think over the years, we just see nature have a lot of things. I think California even had
a lot of fires going on right now.
Fires. And I'm just like, I feel it because it's hot as hell outside. It says 90 and it feels like, 200. You're like, okay, go back to the house. Just saying. Let me ask you, so how do you feel about the royals? Because earlier this year, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle decided that they weren't going to really do the royal thing no more. And everybody was all in their feelings.
Right. I feel like they grown as hell and they can do what they want to do. However, on the other end, it's like you're trying to continue a lineage and a royalty and a legacy. So you want to keep that blood going. And you don't know what happened on the back end because, a lot of criticism came simply because she was a black woman.
Yeah.
And it's like, who's to say that they say, "Look, we don't want that black person blood because you have a child. It's not going to be royalty. It's not going to be part of family." Like, you get what I'm saying? Some of that.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Yo, forget all this. Somebody step down. I'll let this woman. I'll leave her." That shows you what type of love he has for this woman, and he's taking her over royalty. And man, you can have all that as long as I got my love. I'm good. The way that you talk to me about my woman, because they was dogging her, trying to drag her simply because she's black. And that's when a lot of things kick in because lineage after lineage has always been white. And then you got somebody
like he done mixed it a little bit.
Yeah. So, but it's crazy because, back in slave days, the kings and queens and the plantation owners raping all the black women, they having kids with them. So it's just like, if it's the other way around, they don't want that.
Yeah. It made me really appreciate their relationship. Is one of those, and I hate putting socialites and celebrities into relationship goals, but just giving how big of a thing that is for him, because it's, there's people that in their own household and based on the traditions of their parents won't do certain things.
Right.
And you're talking about historic, royalty guidelines, everything. He's basically they even moved away. Like they did residence. Yeah. Listen.
Miami. They on South Beach right now.
They on the beach with all the keys. Speaking of Miami, so we hosted Super Bowl, right? And I was like, okay, that's lit.
I was there, man. Super Bowl was cool, man. I guess I must have been out the loop. I seen all the parties. It was at least $100-some get in. Everybody say woo woo. Everybody, it was a good time. A lot of foot traffic, a lot of walking, I can tell you. But it was a good time. I didn't see the game or watch the game. I was just out there living. So it's only an hour away. So
I was trying to find an Applebee's that day because Applebee's had like $1 drinks. I know people were like, Apple, who goes there? Applebee's had a specials. People didn't realize this. Every month they have a drink of the month that's $1.
It's probably all juice and syrup.
Nah.
This time, you get one. That's it.
Nah.
Name one person you got off of.
It had this lemonade one time, boy. After 2, I was like, I can't.
Girl, you only 40 pounds. Of course you're gonna be done after that. What are you talking about?
You know what's crazy? I was like, come Super Bowl, I said, I'm avoiding anything south of County Line. I'm like, leave me in Broward. Just didn't. I was impressed by the upgrades they did to the stadium, but then I would laugh the week of when it ended. Mm-hmm. You ever seen those Halloween stores that come November 1st? They empty.
Yeah.
That's how they did the stadium.
Oh wow.
All this stuff we put on here to make y'all look pretty. Come here. They snatched the lace fronts off the stadium, the lashes off, everything.
Look at that.
I was like, okay. Now we entered the year. Everybody was hopeful. As far as the impeachments.
Mm-hmm.
And then February 5th, there was like he was acquitted. There's a picture of him holding up the newspaper that says acquitted. And I don't know. Everybody was just like, I had people that were like, oh, then there was other people that was just like, I knew it. I was on the I knew it team.
Think about this. If he would have got impeached, y'all niggas would have got Mike Pence. Like what? We still alone.
Either way. We just
Mike Pence probably is the person that's really running stuff. Trump is just the face. You know what I'm saying?
I've always heard that. And his views apparently are a lot even or worse. It's just he's so not as vocal as him. Mm-hmm. So in my head, I was just like, damn if you do, you damn if you don't.
Right, but what was the thing? Like having a phone call, talking to somebody?
It was just everything he handled, the way he was being in office. And then the whole thing with the investigations when that guy went up and spoke.
Everybody went to jail around this nigga besides him.
They either go to jail or get fired.
Him. And then
he's a real life apprentice, okay?
And then he get his boys straight out of jail. I'm like, bro, Trump is really a gangster, like, and then he getting people out of jail, like. But to be honest, one thing about Trump, I actually see him actually doing things like this thing. He's actually like getting people out of jail, like actually, I don't know, like it's crazy, like.
You're right. You know what I was shocked?
All these executive orders being signed. I never seen the president move that fast, if that makes sense.
He exercised a lot of the rights
that he had.
As a president they have. It's just other presidents wanting to be more fair to the system. Homeboy said, oh, I can do that?
He said, yeah, all these executive orders, I've never seen as many executive orders. I said, well, he's actually doing something. Like, I don't know if he's bad or good, but I never seen anybody make moves like that bad.
Bad or good. Now, what's crazy though, I found it interesting. Well, I guess because he did his absentee ballot from Palm Beach. And I don't know why. I was assuming they would have made him do residence up in Washington. Hell, we moved. The law requires us to update our driver's license and everything to register in the place that but clearly we know he lives in Florida.
Right.
Most of his term and spent like 2 months in DC.
Right.
Just saying.
That's right. He probably like, this is my current residence or my previous residence.
And I've heard of people that live in that area that they're like really over it because, and even like for me, I know one time when he landed, I'll never forget, I was on 595 and we got the heads up that he was coming to Broward. And I was like, okay. He landed and I remember being on 595 and I saw the US Air Force One and I was like, oh snap. I hit the gas because I knew what that meant. The minute he lands and he gets out, they have to shut down all the roads. Bruh, I was waiting and I was like 2 minutes from my house. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Waiting almost 30 to 40 minutes because they have to clear all the roads around. So Griffin, Federal, 595, all of that was blocked off.
Man, that make you just not like him no more.
Listen, I was this close to being. It's like when a train gets you, you like, I'm right there. I see my house. That's what it felt like. I was just so over it. Then this one was like a really big loss.
It came out of nowhere.
I think it was the shock factor. Sometimes you have deaths that are just like, what? But I think it was the shock factor that really.
Did they ever see a lot of these things in the news, but nobody never follow up? Did they ever see if it was mischief with the helicopter, how it actually crashed? Some people said it was a fog. Some people, but what was the
from what I understood, there was, I think Vanessa filed suit against the company, the helicopter, the aviation company, because the pilot did not follow the rules. He was not supposed to take off in all that fog. he was but there was a lot of protocol that he didn't follow, and which led to the death. So they foul play wasn't the case. It just was negligence from the company. At least that's what they tell us.
I heard a rumor too. I don't know if it's true or not, but he was actually in the middle of a lawsuit against a big pharma company over the trademark Black Mamba. Now I don't know any further details. I just remember seeing that. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Listen, I don't even. I'm gonna blame Netflix. Like, to me, anything's possible.
Right.
Anything. And I wasn't a big basketball fan. Like, I didn't watch a lot of basketball, but he just was one of those names that was just undeniable. It's just like, dang. But I saw a lot of people just were like, it cut deep. He was so young. I mean, I think also the fact that he had his daughter with him, you know, whenever there's a child loss with it.
Crazy.
Just,
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah. Then, Lord, we didn't even, so January 20th, I think if I probably look at my text or COVID, Corona was not even on the mind. Like, we was hearing about it, but January 2020, ironically, January 20th, 2020, for those conspiracy theorists out there, the first case of COVID was reported in Washington State.
That's crazy. Yeah, I remember that. I mean, but you hear this all the time. First, it was H1N1. Then it was SARS. Then it was.
Yeah, they said it's
virus. Then it was Ebola. Like, it's something every.
Still Ebola. They found Ebola in. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, it's every 2 years. It's a different one. Like, and it's just like.
Now, do you believe or feel that it's being
blown out of proportion?
No, like it's being created, or do you feel that it's just somebody be in the lab messing up with stuff and it just happens?
I believe it's a pandemic.
Ooh,
this was definitely planned out. You got to understand. You got to. Like, this is a rabbit hole. It's so much. Like, if you really look this up, there's something called Event 201. If you go on Google and type in Event 201, there was an event in October of 2019 where delegates and other people sat down and say, how can we react if a virus broke out across the world? This was just like a play, just to act like if something happened, how can we respond? And the virus that they acted like it was going against the world was coronavirus. So this was in October of 2019 when they had delegates from different countries and nations and health organizations sit down at the table and say, how can we react to something if something happens? And then this happens at the top of the year. This definitely planned. CEOs stepping down at the same time. Bill Gates stepped down. The president of Uber stepped down. There's like 20 big CEOs stepped down all at the same time. At the same time, if you're in the top 1%, you already know what's going on. Trust me. And it's been a big transfer of wealth. Bill Gates just came up some bread. Jeff Bezos just came up some bread. The Facebook, Zuckerberg.
Definitely agree with, because I saw just what started to happen after the fact and the people benefiting from it. And I was just like,
right. And my thing is with this whole Bill Gates thing, Bill Gates, people are looking at Bill Gates. He has no medical background or history whatsoever. Please stop looking at Bill Gates as a spokesperson for coronavirus. He's nothing but a check. Period. He has no medical history or background or degree or anything. And he's just putting money into places to get his agenda across. And I'm telling y'all, please do not take that vaccine.
But it's just like 45. He told people what was it? He gave some advice about what was it he told people to drink?
Bullshit. I mean, if you're stupid enough to do that, you go ahead. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, but I would say this, and this is an unpopular opinion. Hit the bell. Ding, 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 ding. Popular opinion coming down. I think Donald Trump is going to give people more options to not take the vaccine if you willing and not to. Like if you don't want to, like he was talking about hydroxychloroquine, like other doctors was coming up saying that it is, and other methods like I forgot the name of, but anyway, other methods that people use to do that instead of looking at the vaccine as a savior and the end all be all. Because I do believe if Joe Biden and Harris get elected, I've seen them say they want to do a 3-month nationwide mask wearing, like mandatory across the whole country, like, and just a lot of crazy stuff. Because people can use the name of public health to exercise different agendas. Like they talk about coin shortage. How do you have a coin shortage? Where did they go? Did somebody just put it all in the truck and dump it in the ocean? Where did the coins go? Where did they go?
All money. They like places was like use card because there's a cash shortage.
You have to understand there's a lot of things going on, like the transfer of everything digital. You have to understand they want to take away money because you can't track money. You can't track cash. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the coins, right? And then if I pay for something that's $1.50 and I get a $2 bill, I don't get my change back. It's like you're not going to want to use cash no more because they're not going to be able to give you change. Now everything has to be tracked on debit, credit card, and everything, because cash you can't trace. You get what I'm saying? So think about
it. It's crazy that you say that because I was just having a discussion with a few of my friends, and it's, you know, the Black Twitter and, you know, the urban community can say it's scamming season, but there's when the whole PPP and the whole the stimulus things happened, you know, ironically, hey, you had to get your cash. They gave you the option for the direct deposit. Give us your bank information. Let's go ahead and send you your money. After that, everybody started traveling, started going places, going here, going there.
Yeah.
And in my head, I was just like, even people that were doing, I don't know if you saw the Nigerian guy in Dubai that got caught. He got like 41, I think it was about 41 million. He had scammed or fraudulently got some funds using the whole process. But he was posting pictures with yachts now.
Yeah.
He was just flexing to the most. And,
wow.
And I was just like, listen, what was the movie with Denzel when he played the Frank, the mob boss guy?
Training Day?
No. The other one. Which one?
Frank Lucas, American
Gangster.
Yeah.
Listen, that taught me and all that I needed. No matter if I get 30,000 or 1 million tomorrow, you will not see a big purchase from Anna. You're gonna think Anna's still broke. I'm gonna tell you that much.
I swear I just did a post like this a couple days ago. My caption was, if I had $1 in my pocket, you never would know it. If I'm broke or I'm rich, you would never know it because I'm carrying myself the same way. I ain't posting no money on Instagram for what?
I mean, realistically, I would love to speak with like a DA that I'm pretty sure, and I've seen it on shows now. Social media has been the way they've caught a lot of people now.
Right, bro. I seen somebody on Facebook breaking into an ATM live on Facebook. Did you see that?
No.
He set up his phone and had an ATM right behind him, had a sledgehammer breaking into it. Like, yeah, I'm about to get this money, y'all. I'm like, bruh, like, what? Are you dumb? Like, people do anything.
Yo, listen. So I've been telling everybody, listen. I don't want to sound like I was like, just take your money, hold on to it, save it, whatever. I was like, but this is my thought process. And maybe it's the paranoid in me watching a lot of movies. Whatever cash I get, you know, these people are getting the cash. They done flown to Vegas. They in Puerto Rico. They fighting in airports. And all of that is trackable. Your license is being scanned. Like they can find and see who flew into a particular point. If they think about, and this is, okay, I'm taking it one step further to the conspiracy theory, okay? If the government were to say control the prices of airfare,
Right.
and say it's going to be $20 to fly to Vegas today.
Mm-hmm.
There, an influx of people are going to go to LAS. They now have a pool, a record, a history of a batch of people that they can start to look into.
Mm-hmm.
So these are people that normal circumstances, given what the state we're in, are now flying. I ain't gonna lie, part of that, it's made me kind of like, I'm like, you know what, I'll drive. It's okay. I mean, I ain't doing nothing crazy, but in my head, it's just so weird. I mean, flights like dirt cheap. I get it, the airlines and whatnot, but giving the timing of it, in addition to everything happening with the PPP and all of this stuff, and then I saw a homeboy in Nigeria that got caught up. I was just like, it's okay.
In my line to my, hey man, you want? I'm like, nah, bro, I'm good. I'm straight. You're like, man, come on, man, let's get this money. Nah, I'm good. Great, bro. You gave me 3 days, but nah, I'm straight. Bro.
Like, hey, do you wanna?
Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'll get these scammers on too, bro. I had somebody call me from the cell phone number that was the same number as mine, but one number off. I'm like, what the?
That's been happening.
Y'all getting so creative now, like.
This not staring my phone like,
Yeah.
Nope. Now, okay, so January 20th was the first U.S. case. Mind you, internationally, they had already been having issues 6 months back.
Yeah.
Italy became the first country to lock down because my aunt lives in Italy, and she even said it. She was like, they are click, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I recall we didn't really go into lockdown here till like the first week of April, realistically. And how did you feel? Like, were you down here or were you when lockdown started?
Yeah, I was in Florida.
How did you like? I feel like for us in Florida, it was a tough pill to swallow because we have everything always open.
Right. Yeah, it was different. It was like you realize what type of power you have, and you realize what type of power the government has. And a lot of things were shut down, so it was like different. You know, a lot of people in my industry, especially me, you know, lost a lot of money because, you know, you get paid off of clubs and events and hostings and stuff like that. So it's definitely stopped the money from a lot of my DJ friends, everybody like that. So the positive thing about it is I think that it pushed everybody to be creative. Like a lot of people, creative genes came out. Like a lot of these DJ D-Nice, like these Instagram live parties, like so it a versus battle. A lot of things has been a lot of funny, cool, creative, popular, hot things have been created in this quarantine, and especially me, physically, mentally, spiritually, like everything. So it gave us some time, I say here, to sit your ass down and reflect on life and see how you can get this bag, stay healthy, and stay out the way, in a sense.
Sit your ass down.
Right. Handle these priorities and figure this out for real.
But you know what so let me ask you from a guy's perspective, because when everything shut down, and like I said, down here, Strip Club City, OnlyFans.
Get your money, boo. Real ass and give up my ass. Real Birkin bag, whole 5, 6 figures. Stripes on my ass here. I caught it with my own scamming there. Hold up.
That became the OnlyFans anthem, basically.
Hey, they say everybody from Backpage just went to OnlyFans. OnlyFans is new Backpage.
Fact.
Bro, I'm not paying for porn, bro. I'm not paying for porn, bro. You get it free. I'm not paying for OnlyFans.
That's the other thing, right? Is the fact that it's basically a paid Instagram.
It's an interactive porn. That's what it is. And you getting videos. I think it's just you kind of have a relationship with somebody on Instagram, like you know that you can see their titties in a sense, rather than or you know you would never have protection. You get what I'm saying?
But you had people paying for OnlyFans for strippers.
Right. Just pay. You gonna pay for the real thing, or you gonna pay for you gonna pay that $40, or you gonna pay that
for the virtual? Like, listen, there's a young lady, she's bad, boy, and she's a dancer, she's also an artist, Yo, listen, when I saw her, she did a screenshot of 2 weeks. Okay? 2 weeks. Just for half a second, I was thinking about how fast could I create a page. Then I heard my mama in the back of my head, and I did not want to get that call.
Your OnlyFans page.
Listen, I just did not want to hear that. But she made close to, it was over 80,000
in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. A bulk of that, which I don't have, like, I've never even downloaded, so I don't even, there's a part that she had that was like almost 30, 40K, and it said messages. So I don't know if she has it set up that they have to pay to send her messages. I was just like,
bruh, women, y'all got so many apps that y'all can just use, because stupid niggas, they gonna pay that money. Like, they just gonna sit there in front of that screen like, and just be happy with that. Like, I could never, bro. So
clearly they don't share bank accounts with somebody if they are, because in my head I'll be like, you just.
The question is too, I want to ask my fellas too, and ask in girls' perspective too, could you wife somebody with an OnlyFans? Your girl bringing, or your man bringing home, 80,000 every 2 weeks.
I am not. I think I have a bit of insecurities that would just wouldn't allow me to do that.
Right.
And it's and I'm a very open-minded person, but in my head I think more long-term, and I just know down the line this ain't gonna be the mind frame nor the lifestyle that we're gonna have. Mm-hmm. I don't need down the line. I don't need old mind frame stuff popping up on new mind frame time. Cause I was just like, no.
So you ain't wife somebody.
I couldn't. I just couldn't. It's just, and I think for guys, I think the other thing is what I've heard. Like, I had a chat a while back with some of my homeboys, and they said they don't want everybody to see what's supposed to be for them.
Right.
But I was like, but what if she just does like a OnlyFans that's like for a fetish, like
going to be
show her ear every day?
She's showing feet, like
yeah, that was weird to me. But like,
no, I'm not saying that's not my personal interest, but I know some
people.
No,
I know. I've seen Instagram pages with millions of followers that's dedicated to feet, and I was just like,
weird motherfuckers out here. That's all I'm saying, and you can get that money like off of that. So I'm saying, like, if you personally, like, if you create an OnlyFans page, would you post something that you couldn't post on Instagram?
Okay, so I could tell you my thought process when I was debating an OnlyFans account. So I told my friends, I said,
wait a minute. I'm ready.
I was like, if I created an OnlyFans account, because my friends, I love them, they keep me honest, and my friends protect my brand as much as I protect my brand. So they were like, because I mentioned, it was like, no, Anna, that doesn't go with your brand. I wouldn't want to see you do that. But then I was like, but wait. But then I said, what if I did it where I just do the news in like a tank top or like a sports bra or something like that?
Like that.
And I still do what I'm known for. I'm just making it something different than what you would see. And that would be the key. It's something you wouldn't see on Instagram or Facebook. And they were like, okay, I get it. But then I also know my boyfriend would be like, girl, no. Just because of the notion of what's associated with OnlyFans.
Right. I like that idea. That's actually dope. But however, the other way around is now people who follow you may go follow that or know you have that. So it may be hard to respect you as an individual as your professional lane. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Now having sex with you when they see you in person, like they know you got that sexy side or whatever. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, they'll be like, oh,
if you started,
become another OnlyFans girl.
Right. If you started on that side and then ventured over here, you get what I'm saying? It may be more acceptable. Like, oh, okay, I see you doing your thing now, rather than, oh, I see you doing your thing now.
Backward step versus going forward. It's like, oh, you went that route? Shit, it must be rough, sis.
I really see you doing your thing now. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Now, on a little bit more serious note, now one of the things that just, in my opinion, rocked it bigger than anything rocked 2020 for me was the George Floyd injustice. And it all happened at the same time. And it kind of, I felt like George Floyd situation shared back light on the Ahmaud and Breonna situation. But just, in my personal opinion right now, just not long enough. Because it's starting to, like, I still see protesters, not at the same capacity.
Well, the just choosing to cover what they want to cover. So clearly they just take away the coverage of it to make you think like it's not going on. But some people are still marching, you know, just like when Colin Kaepernick took that knee, they took the cameras off the NFL games to show the protest. They just showed the fans in the stands. So they just choose to take the camera off, but some protests are happening, but not at the same capacity. You're right.
Yeah, not because, like I said, I saw protesters that were on a corner, but they just were not in the same capacity of what they were before. And I was just like, and it's what I expected, because, you know, as in media and entertainment, one of the biggest things in media is just whatever's the biggest story. Like right during that time frame, all of this marching happened, and then what happened? Entanglements.
Mm-hmm.
The world just, entanglements is still a topic, still a conversation. Right. And then you had, of course, the people that was just reminding everybody, hey, justice, remember over here, don't forget, we still don't have this, we still need this.
It's whatever, that's what everybody's going with.
But I feel like we're gonna always be in that. You know
that it's crazy that it's so crazy, the power of media. Like when we was doing a protest, people stopped talking about the coronavirus just for like a second. Mm-hmm. And if the coronavirus was crazy and serious as what they say, do you know how many millions of people protested around this country? I protested. People protest in every U.S. city in this United States of America, side by side with no mask, touching, yelling, screaming, shoulder to shoulder, holding hands. And the virus, everybody should have it by now. If millions of people just did that, they didn't have no people in NBA stands, no MLB stands, but people protesting. And ain't nobody really returned sick from that. But now they trying to blame the influx of opening up businesses. You get what I'm saying? It's just like, I'm talking about coronavirus, this whole protest. Then the protest died down. Now you're talking about influx. Not from the protest, though. Ain't nobody really say influx of these viruses are from the protest.
No, but even, and you know, this is what I always want people to remember. The numbers that we're seeing that's being reported, they're realistic. They're not today numbers, if that makes sense. Those numbers, and if that's for anybody that's gotten tested, you do the test today. Like I went and did another nasal test, and you get the results in 2 to 3 days. So those numbers that they're reporting are from people that got tested a few days ago. It's not like the day started, whoop, this is what we got for COVID. No.
But, you know, the news is really always talking about cases. They never really talk about deaths. And I want other people to notice that just because they say case does not mean it's guaranteed death. Please. Huh?
I think Sentinel was the only one that I saw. If you have like their newsletter or their newspaper, they actually send what the death count is every day. So on average, every day there's about 200 deaths, at least in Florida. There's about 200 deaths a day for COVID.
Like everyday life outside right now. Like it doesn't seem like anything is going on besides people wearing masks. Like I understand.
It depends, because my mom yesterday, she called me, and because of how everything's been, she hasn't gone to the cemetery. She always goes and changes the flowers for my dad. And she said it was a bit eerie. She said there were so many like prepped sites all over the cemetery. She's like, she had never seen that many at one time. And it was just one of those things. I was like, I don't go as much as she goes, so I wouldn't even know that. If it wasn't for the Sun Sentinel sending those alerts, I wouldn't know the death count. And I think the other thing is they're throughout the Tri-County area. So I think if it was just particularly Broward, if it was more concentrated in one space, we would be more alerted to it, but it's a month. I think it's a statewide, so that's why. But I don't know. I don't know where we're going to. I keep being hopeful that, I don't know, like this all ends, because like you said, being in the entertainment industry, like my DJs are just like, yo, personalities that, like, I had 2 events that I was supposed to host, and I just was like, and I've even, like, some of them, they're about to do them, and I said, I can't. My job and what I do, I was like, nope, I can't. No, Jose. But I feel so bad for the businesses, because also a lot of businesses are and we're struggling. Florida is not a cheap place. So when it comes to renting I look around, there's so many places that are right now, like, they're closing down, they're shutting down. I was just like, damn, these are families. I think of it from the spider web aspect. Like, this one business still is like a lifeline to so many different people.
Right. A lot of businesses are dying. Like, when you close and shut down, it's like losing all that money. And then when you open up, people ain't coming out like that. So it's kind of like you bankrupting the nation in a sense. And now you saying there's a coin shortage on top of that. And now you're dumping these billions of dollars just into pharmaceutical companies. And then these 1%ers are just getting more rich. Like, so many big company bailouts, and the little guy, you know what I'm saying, ain't really got nothing right now.
How did you feel, though, about the like this weird understand? I don't even want to call it understanding. I don't know how to call it. This magical momentary wokeness that huge corporations, including the NFL, had, which I still think they need a direct address to Colin, but I digress. In the wake of George Floyd.
And this ain't had nothing to do with that wokeness. It's about money, period. Money. Because other companies and sponsorships like Nike and all these people that give the NFL money, basically saying, we're going to stop messing with you if you don't do A, B, and C. Like, we're not going to spend money. Like, that's what happened to Redskins. Like, everybody know that's racist. Like, it's so racist that you just got used to the racism. Like, the Redskins,
to the racism.
Like, if you had something called New York niggas or Baltimore blackies, like, what the fuck? Like, do you really think Baltimore blackies would really get accepted? Wyoming whiteys. Like, do you really think that'll get accepted? But
since now for somebody to go,
it took you this long to understand that it's like it's wrong. The Cleveland Indians is a red-faced Indian person. Like, it's so disrespectful with big teeth. Like, it's so disrespectful. It's like the Mammy characters, like, for black people. Like,
don't forget about Aunt Jemima.
Aunt Jemima, all that. And it's just like, it's so few of them, they can't even retaliate because you done killed them all. Like, this is
I call it bandwagonism, but even the interest in telling like the Black stories, the African American stories. Like, I don't know if you saw Apple, it was on Apple TV, The Banker, with Anthony Mackie and Samuel L. Jackson. Did you see the movie?
Really get it that much publicity, bro. They really did not push that movie like that intentionally, bro.
That movie, which is interesting, because I think if it would have been like a Boys in the Hood, I feel like that would have got more, because it would have been the violence.
Where did you see that at? Is it on like HBO, Showtime, anything?
No, so the reason it was a strictly Apple movie. So, like, you know how Amazon may have like Prime movies that they just will only distribute there. So The Banker was actually an Apple movie. So they partnered with Apple. And remember, unless you have like an iPhone, like most people wouldn't be even interested in having Apple TV or creating a subscription account, because you got to also have an account. And the only reason I watched it because Apple gave me 1 free year of Apple TV.
Yeah, I wish I was able to see that, bro.
But that movie, I encourage, if you have somebody that has a login to it, borrow it and watch it, because in the midst of everybody right now trying to promote Black wealth, that movie I'm hoping they probably distribute it a little bit more widely, because
Cool. I'm gonna use the password.
Okay, I got you. For these,
you don't get me. You don't get me.
No, I do. I got you. But for these two black men in the 40s, 30s and 40s to do what they did, and then they're the reasons they implemented the Fair Housing Act early on, because the fact that they had to portray and use a white man to buy the buildings, even though they're the millionaires, to buy real estate for them, because the white bank places will not loan to them. And they said, all right, I'm going to buy this building. So the building that housed all these banks in California, that housed the bank that declined them, they bought it, but they used the white guy as a front. Like, oh, yeah. I'm trying to log in. Like, yo, that movie was so dope. Of course, they had the Madam C.J. Walker as well. I did not like John Henry. Terrible. I don't know. Did you watch? Did you try?
Terrible. Ain't that Spanish for terrible?
Terrible, horrible.
But the movie that I'm looking forward to is that the Black Panther, the Stokely Carmichael. Is that Stokely Carmichael? You see that?
No.
Dude from Get Out, the dark-skinned dude, he's playing Stokely Carmichael in a Black Panther film, and it's basically talking about how he got infiltrated at Black Panther and brought it down.
Oh yeah, because he did him wrong. Nah, but I don't know who. Let me tell you, I be telling people I try to support our own. So I pushed through. It took me 3 days to push through John Henry, because I kept thinking it was going to get better. I thought it was going to get better.
It was trash.
And I was like, what is on Ludacris?
Trabajar. Trabajar. I said the wrong word. I don't know Spanish. Basura.
Now some people think WAP is basura.
You know, the song ain't all that to me. I just like it's some when it first come on, like that's hard. But
you like the sample. The sample is what's dope, but
it's pronounced.
I don't like the song.
WAP.
WAP.
WAP. Everybody say WAP like it's WOP. It's WA.
Oh wait, A.
WAP.
Yeah, it's WAP because it's A. If it would have been WAP, it would have been
WOP.
That, or you would have said WAP if there would have been a vowel after the P. Because the vowel, consonant, vowel changes the sound of the.
Why your finger like this?
Because I'm looking at the letters.
Carry the one, man. Carry the one. You need to write it down.
I was like, did you see the clip with the girl that her dad was like, spell so, S-O, spell up, U-P. Put it together, what does that say? And she was like, soap.
Yeah.
He was like, what? I was like, oh, poor baby. Bless her heart. Homeschooling. But I don't care for the song. I know it's getting traction because of the explicitness of it, the wow factor of it, and the images. And let's be real, it was like Meg's appearance post the Tory Lanez situation.
Alleged.
Well, I said situation. I didn't say what happened. There was a situation. We know it's them. We just they're holding out on the details.
Details that she was whooping his ass. I heard the details because I seen that. I was on her live and I seen the Jenner girl, whatever, one of them girls, whatever. Kylie Jenner was there and nobody was talking about her. I'm like, but you want to talk about them? She was in the pool with them. She was on her live. It was Meg, Tory, and Kylie Jenner in the pool. And then later it came out. Some sources said that, either Tory was flirting with Kylie or Kylie was flirting with Tory and they was talking.
I heard.
Meg started beating the fuck out of him like, huh. And Tory only like 5'2", 140 pounds. So she working this little.
He's like Money Mike.
Huh?
He's like Money Mike.
Right. So she working him. And then I guess he pulled out a gun and shot her. So think about it. It was the other way around. If if a near 6 foot man was whooping on a 5'2" girl and then she shot him, she'd be a hero, whatever, or like, yeah, she did what she had to do. But if Meg the Stallion whooping on Tory Lanez, it's like, you a man, you just gotta take that ass whooping instead of just shoot her. Like, you don't know.
You know what sucks? He's like, right, what he's going through right now, or what's going to happen is like a modern day Rihanna and Chris Brown.
Right, but somebody got shot different. And everybody, you see that people trying to support him. I'm like, you don't even know what happened yet. You always, social media, y'all is people trying to get signatures.
I mean, it took what? Oh, Chris Brown did that documentary that was on Netflix, like what, 2 years ago, that the story finally came out and people started apologizing to Chris. Because even when it happened, he never ever, till I think the documentary came out, he never shared what happened in that car, that she was beating on him.
Oh, she was beating on him?
Yeah. And you know, people come now, it's weird. People then started to commend the fact that he didn't like drag her through it then. But I was like, yeah, but y'all still, like, he lost so much at that time frame because y'all would, you know, and at the end of the day, yeah, he it wasn't right, you know, but he ended up reacting based on his past mental issues and situations. He reacted to, I mean, think about, like, ladies, think about when you be going like this, and he's like, no, man, go.
Praise girls like, do that and smack the dude, punch him, say, you ain't gonna do nothing. I wish you would.
You would. And he'd be like, go on now. And he'd be like, go on.
Oh, I'm calling, please, you put your hands on me. Or you just grab her. You're like, oh my God, he grabbed me. Oh my God.
It's crazy. It's, you know, I always tell people, I say, man, you got to be ready to be in this celebrity public light, because your story will not always be the one that gets told or told the right way. And it's a domino effect. But you know, worship and praise, y'all. Hallelujah.
Yes, WAP, worship and praise. Give them, lift them high, get some WAP. Lift them hands up high, give me some WAP. Yes.
You know, it's so crazy. Like, I don't like the song. Like, it's not a song. Like, to me, it's not like a Bodak Yellow. It's not my favorite Cardi song.
It's the visual.
The visuals, because they came in serving we all in the house looking bummy as hell, and here they come on the screen just serving everything. Okay, that's what it was, and
yeah. That's all it was.
It's all it was, because at the end of the day, the lyrics of it, because somebody's like, oh, but you know, y'all listen to Trina. I said, yeah, but I will say this. Now, I'm not, you know, backing Trina and any, you know, but I will say this, as far as when it came to Trina's super explicit songs and content, she saved those for the album. Like, because I know one song off rip in my head that I know they would have never let it go on radio. This song, like, my friend was like, I heard the radio version, I hate it. Cause you gotta be.
What song are you talking about, young lady?
I'm trying to think if it's Nasty Girl. I just remember the first line, and I apologize to anybody in my family that's watching, but I would never. And this was because it was back in the day. It was when I went through shout out to all my girls. We went through that Trina phase. Like,
hey, the damn song.
Oh, it was okay. This was the line. She started off, get involved with a nigga, slide with a nigga, take all his old, and I dodge a nigga. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna give y'all. I think it was called Nasty Bitch.
It's so freaky ass.
And I was just like, that's what, you know, so I think Trina, however people may feel about her, that was that time frame. I just can't relate to that now, because I'm just like, I see things in a more mature light now. I see little girls talking about it now, and in my head, I was just like, oh my gosh. You know, a 4-year-old walking around singing wet ass pussy is cringeworthy. It's cringeworthy. And my theory on that is, like, we can't get mad. We can get mad. We get upset and frustrated, but you know, when you
the same thing though.
When you when you allow girls, because they're saying, okay, this is women embracing their sexuality and women. But you're talking about also a generation of little girls right now who are on TikTok blasting this song, and they're saying this, and now they're speaking this, and then you got a young boy, young man that's trying to learn, or maybe doesn't have the right guidance. Now he's hearing that, and she's telling him, "Hey, come get this way." We now create
hoes in this house. It's some hoes in this house. It's some hoes in this remix.
Did you see? I don't know if you saw it where they said if Annabelle, the possessed doll, when she escapes and she calls the devil.
No, I didn't see that.
It's hilarious because when the phone rings, the devil's like yelling at one of his minions. The person, the guy doing the skits, like, rub my feet, and then the phone rings, and it's the ringtone to this supposed, and he answers hello. And he's like, "What, Annabelle? Hello?" And then Annabelle's like, "I got out." Say what? I gotta send you the video. It's really funny. I was just like, it's a bit dark, but it's hilarious. It just, in a good way.
Okay.
So, all right. Now, one of the things we were talking about, terms for non-white.
Right. I think that we use should be eliminated vocabulary or broken down to a specific standard. Like when we use the word urban, what does that mean? We know that's a code word for black. Urban really means inner city area, but it really means black. When people use the word minority, I'm telling black people, like when people or things get wrote into Congress or a law passed, when they say minorities will get A, B, and C, just know that's not us, just specifically, because black people get the word minority confused. So minority can mean woman, minority can mean Hispanic, minority can be Asian, minority can be handicapped, minority can mean black, minority can be Alaskan, minority can be Native American.
Anything. But you know what's crazy? So the term minority came from, of course, they look at a demographic of a particular thing and see which one is the not so prominent one, right? So whoever is a smaller demographic of that, those are the minorities. But it's very interesting because like I was looking at voter registration data in Dade County, and out of the 1.5 million voters, the minority group of Hispanics have 890 something thousand registered voters out of that 1.5.
Right. So maybe it's not necessarily the minority of Miami, but the minority of the country. Because we know Miami got a lot of Hispanics down there. So maybe y'all the majority in the city, because in Atlanta, it's majority black people. In Baltimore, like certain areas. So, but you have to stop using this word minority because we really the majority, because it is minority means everything but white, period. So basically, white people are the minority. Because if you break down all these minorities in different classes, we got black, we got Hispanic. It takes away your mental, like your strength. Like, oh, we have numbers. Like, no, white people are actually the minority. Like white people versus minorities, who are more the so-called minorities. So we get all these classes of people that make us think that we're separate. But like how you say Dominicans are really black people, or Puerto Ricans really black people, Latinos really black people. Like you get what I'm saying? Like some people say that. Yeah. So let's just say we all black. We all black now. Now who's the minority? You get what I'm saying?
We're all humans. We're all humans. I'm an alien, but we're all humans.
You separate by class and race, it causes division, and people will try to put things of majority, aka superior, than inferior, aka minority.
Which is part of the problem of why we have what we have right now. We've had the issues we have right now. So I asked that because Kamala Harris became the first woman of color to be a VP candidate or running mate or VP running person. I'm trying to just make sure all these terms, but it was just like, and we as black people sometimes we because I've seen it. I've seen a group of black girls be like, I bet she's not even really black, and just listen. At some point in time,
I see Kylie Jenner post on Instagram. And the caption said brown skinned girl.
She claims that wasn't the case, but then they said that was it. She just changed it later. Somebody probably went in on her like, excuse me? You're tanning. Go back in the tanning booth, honey.
Black woman do black culture, but then don't want to be black. Like I said, everybody want to be a nigga, but nobody want to be a nigga. You date all niggas, you get the big lips, you get the big ass, you get the titties, you get the extensions, you wear the braids.
Right.
You do everything appropriate to black culture. You got a black man, and then, come on.
So, I mean, I just, people are going to be like, okay, we got to vote for her because she's black. No, vote if it aligns with what change you want.
Please don't vote because everybody, just because they black don't mean we all got the same agenda. We all on the same team. Because I know some niggas be like, what? That's what he want to do? Like, so please don't forget she was
in your research
very familiar with locking niggas up. So she's very comfortable as a vice president of locking niggas up. Like, best believe. So just because she's a person of color and her mother is Indian and her father is Jamaican, and a lot of dialogue of things where she was posted in did not say black woman. It said Indian woman. So make sure you know what she's named as or label herself as, and don't just give her a vote because she's a woman of color and wants to claim black woman when it's convenient, when in reality she may have been claiming something else. I don't care if she went to a HBCU. It's white people that go to HBCUs.
All the yardies showing up to the poll with oxtail and gravy.
Yeah, man.
Like on my hair.
Uh-oh. That hair came out. Right? Uh-oh. Fans on the way. Uh-oh.
Oh, snap.
It's the whole setup, too. That be your setup with OnlyFans right there.
Right there.
Got your news stories with your Victoria.
And then let it go slow motion, right?
Oh, my God. I'm tuning in for the sports, for the Media Bay Top 10. Media Bay.
So, but so anybody that's out there looking for an idea, hey, y'all do that because I remember hearing my friends growing up. They used to love tuning into Univision, Telemundo, because the Spanish girls, the Spanish news stations would always do like sexy, the girls, and I would watch it. They came out in their little crop top, and I was like, oh my gosh, my Latin culture is so overly sexualized.
I am.
And I was just like, so now.
My brother, Nick Cannon, I was so set beside myself because I literally just watched that episode. And that episode was out a long time, right? And I really was listening. I really was dissecting that episode. They were talking about what he said. I literally didn't hear him say anything about Jewish people per se. I heard him talk about white people and the history of white people worldwide. And I think it hit even harder because the person he was across from was Professor Griff, which is known to say, quote unquote, bad things about Jewish people. So I feel like the ear was to the television waiting for him to make a mistake because he's black and he actually owns something.
Anti-Semitic comments, that's what they call it.
Right, but he was saying these are savages, people who enslave people, people who rape people, people who pillage land, and that's not theirs. They have a history of this, so therefore they're called savages. Because if anybody else did that, that's what you would do. That's what you would call them. And it was all truth. So it's just like, what is the issue here that was said about a particular race or religion of people? Because I done heard a lot of news personalities and radio personalities done said some racist shit on the air and they still had their job. How many times I heard Bill O'Reilly say some shit? The right-wing conservative radio guys say some things and still have their job. But I'm proud of this brother. And then people was down on him because he apologized. I was like, yeah, I understand that too, but like at the same time, y'all not paying none of his bills.
I was just about to say, first of all, I know some of y'all that would sell out for a 4 for 4, so I don't even want to hear it.
Hold on, yeah.
Sell out for a 4 for 4.
Oh, I'm weak. That is funny. That is
$40.
Hey, that 40 go a long way now. That 40 go a long way.
So let me tell you what I got from the whole Nick Cannon situation. And it's what I wanted people to, because Nick Cannon, at the end of the day, I absolutely love his grind, love his hustle.
Yeah.
He's from me growing up, Nickelodeon. Like, it was just, And I saw him use his talent, his passion, his creativity to help Viacom and everything. So he was part of them. He had some equity in it. But everyone had the impression that he owned the rights to Wildin' Out.
Right.
And although it was, in my opinion, his brainchild, and he also brought it back to life, because people forget Wildin' Out was from way back when. And then he came back with it with some new, fresh faces, and it turned into a whole, once again.
And it started a lot of people's careers.
So it became the go-to if you want to kind of branch out and get seen. But the fact that, so at some point in time, he had gotten equity in Viacom. So Viacom, also MTV, but also Nickelodeon. He's put together all of like the Halo Awards was his idea on Nickelodeon, all of that stuff, all that sweat equity he's put into all of that.
Sweat equity. Yeah.
But I know, right? You can tell I do corporate work. But in all of that, he never negotiated or started to, because it was over years, negotiate rights to what he's creating.
I think he's suing Viacom for like $1 billion.
He should, and I hope that there's enough, something that can, because it's a lot of work that he invested into not just Wildin' Out. To me, was a piece of it. There's so much he had going on with Nickelodeon alone. But it's a reminder to our folks that we need to make sure that while we still have something that people want and keep coming back to us for, at that time, realize your worth and negotiate. We need to stop being so worried that I just need to appreciate that I'm in the room or appreciate that I'm part of the conversation. Clearly, you have something that someone else doesn't have, and that's why they're here. And clearly, every year they're coming back. So at some point in time, say, I want rights to this. I want to have ownership, because at that point, if he would have had the rights or ownership to Wildin' Out, they couldn't rip it from under him. They couldn't be like, nope, we're taking it off, and Wildin' Out is over, without his okay, without his approval, because he would have rights legally, but he didn't. Equity is not the same as the rights to the show.
Right.
And
that's a fact.
It reminded me of just conversations that a lot of conversations I've been having, especially with a lot of people of color, and not just corporate world, and just anything you do. People are coming to know your worth. Society has made us feel and move, society and media and just the way people have treated people of color, they make us feel like, okay, just be grateful you in this room. Just be grateful that I'm calling on you. Just be happy that you're here.
Here.
And take it and go and take your coins and keep it moving. But there's opportunities, and I feel if the biggest thing is, most of the time if we ask, we'll get it. We just are afraid to ask because we are like, nope, they might pass me up.
We gotta get our own.
So like, shout out to Kathy Hughes. She's the TV One. She started Radio One, TV One, Black-owned network that she's built since the 60s or 70s. No, I lied. 70s or 80s. Mm-hmm. Her husband, they bought out a few radio stations, then built it up to one TV network. That's where Ricky Smiley does his shows, TV One. Black-owned. Revolt. So.
Oh, yeah.
Just gotta be where visions and align, even though the bigger bags sometimes are with the I digress because I could go on into this all day. Your boy.
So I heard you were I seen your post that you said you were voting for him.
What I did say was, when I saw them headbands he's selling the shades, I was like, if y'all don't take y'all butt to Dollar Tree and go get them headbands and put it on your eyes.
Headband shades. So
he came out, he posted some glasses that he's selling for his brand that look like headbands. They look like, they look like headbands. Just headbands. And I was just like, he also wearing the clothes with the holes in them. And
like doing all this bum shit, like, and everybody buying it. I don't know why. It looks terrible. I'm not buying it.
At a high cost, by the way.
But I think he's doing a good thing as far as the Christian tour and choir and stuff. I literally heard his album, the gospel album first. I was like, eh. And then
He's a dope creative.
I went back and listened to it again. I was like, okay, I really like this. I had to listen to it twice though. But you know, he hasn't been the same. Everybody else talking about when his mama passed, but I remember he was didn't they like take him to a mental hospital or something like that? Remember he was like, they took him to a mental hospital and he was like, I think they trying to kill me, and they give him all of these drugs. Like, you know, when you do that,
What happened after?
They play with your mind. So, you know, ever since then, like, you're never the same. People would get to experiment on you, and he said they forced put drugs on, type of pills he was taking a day. Like, so
I mean, there you go.
Wow. This nigga trying to do some Back to the Future type shit.
Somebody said, can they see? And I was like, ain't that a headband? I agree with you. I was like, if you don't, go on somewhere. So yeah, it's giving me Hunger Game vibes.
Yeah, he ain't gonna need to sit down somewhere.
So that's what Ye is getting ready to drop on people to spend their money on. But you know, the whole presidential thing.
Distraction, take away the black vote.
You know, my frustration with Kanye is I really genuinely, and this is more for me because I am very big into mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Is, you know, he's talked about being bipolar, and it was just a reminder of just you gotta cater to your mind, to your take care of yourself, and then you need to have the right people around you. I will say this: I feel like if Kim would have been I don't know.
Been a black woman, it would have been totally different. She would have had him on his toes. That's what you're saying.
I feel like no, black women would have just snapped on him in a sense. But it's hard for me to really understand or really know if the intentions behind Kim's note or response was genuine, because they're such business people. They know how to properly adjust a story, a headline, a release. So I don't even know.
Yeah.
I just
you don't know what's in the house. Like I mean, Kim is cool, but I don't think as a wife, like, I don't know. Like,
it's not her too much. It's the mom.
I wouldn't know.
I mean,
you gotta think about it. Everybody who mess with a Kardashian go crazy though. Like, think about it.
And not for nothing. Listen, I get it. Kanye's special, but when someone has an episode, especially if they're bipolar, they're speaking truths in their episodes. Mm-hmm. Nobody says. They're speaking truths in those moments. It's just the moments that they're finally tired of suppressing and holding in that they're releasing. Mm-hmm. The problem is how they do it, and it's not appropriate or adequate the way it's being done. But and he showing up went in about Jenner, about the mom. And I've heard a lot of people say she's like the one that controls
the girls.
Yeah, everything. I think I remember when she offered to try to manage not Tyga, I think Travis. She was gonna try to manage even Kanye at a point in time. So,
yeah, you never know with that.
Free the brothers, free the brothers. Any last things before we wrap up? What do you want to see for 2020? How do you want to see 2020 end? Not end, but like transition into a. I don't even, because you say end, and I just feel like the aliens are finally gonna arrive. Like I saw clips.
Them aliens, but
aliens. You know, the Hard Rock been calling for them. I don't care what nobody say.
Who?
The Hard Rock. They put that big light at the tip of the guitar.
Oh, yeah, man. You know the government came out and said UFOs was real, and nobody really paid attention to it. I'm like,
I know they're real. That's automatic for me.
But yeah, they probably ain't no big eye alien dude. They probably look just like us. Think about the story of Superman. Like, he was on the other planet and he came here and had superpowers. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. But anyway, how I want 2020 to resolve into 2021 is I think everybody should get their mental strength together, their physical strength, and their spiritual strength together, and really hone in on what's best for you as an individual and what's best for your loved ones. Because this should have been a lesson learned. Nothing is really guaranteed.
Right.
So make sure you have stability as far as financial income, multiple streams of income, a roof over your head, and food to eat. Because I've been through shit in my life. So me being not on top like I was, or may not have everything that I have, I'm cool with that. Like I said, I have $1 in my pocket and you'll never know it. And I can survive off of that. But some people having comfort or they're not mentally prepared for that. So I'll just say, if this is your worst, it can't go up. It only can go up from here.
Mm-hmm.
So elevation is one word I can say that I wish we would transform to at the end of the year. Elevation.
I agree with that. I like that. Definitely. I've been telling people, use this time to invest in yourself. You're
Right.
home all day. Please do not let social media. Listen, I'll be telling my friends, look at your screen time. See if you can cut that down. And the time that you cut it down and what you cut it down to, let it be something that you invest into yourself, like a course or something that will just make you be in a better situation. Like at the end of the day, I am confident, and I'm actually very happy that I'm actually just where I'm at now in 2020. I've elevated and progressed better than I've started the year. But that's because I kind of got on myself and said, I'm gonna do what I got to do. I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna do this, and I started to act upon it. So, we home all day. Go to YouTube University, y'all.
Maximize all of your opportunities. Like I've been doing little funny skits on my Instagram. I've been doing auditions for short films and movie. Like I auditioned for something in Atlanta. I submitted today. So I'm just out here just trying to be creative, man, and just get paid off your talent. That's my gift, my dream, to just get paid off my talents. So it's not work to me. It's just this is what I do and I get paid for it. That's happiness to me.
Agreed. Well, thank you so much for chatting.
Hey, let me know when you come out with the OnlyFans. Send me the link and I'll share, subscribe.
I always say, if you see me with an OnlyFans, that means me and my boyfriend broke up because I refuse to have them issues.
Oh, I need a promo code. Oh yeah, absolutely. So I know what that is then when it happens.
Be like, no.
Fast is hard out here. J Bell, you want to subscribe? I'm like, oh my God, you're losing it. Here go $40.
It'll be the subscription price, $40 and a 4 coupon.
Right, and you can add cheese and bacon.
Thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. Listen, his information's been scrolling down here, so make sure you follow, support, go check out his page. And thank you so much for being on Let's Talk.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate the time. You be safe out there, and blessings to you.
All right. Later, babe.
Hey, bae. Have you tuned in to Let's Talk Show? Hosted by yours truly, Media Bae. Your chatty Afro-Latina that siempre has something to say. Let's Talk airs live and can be replayed on Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube, Twitch. Just search Media Bae. If you're interested in sponsoring an episode, just hit me up on heymediabae.com. Now for tonight's Let's Talk, I decided to invite my media fam, J Bell the artist. And we're just gonna talk about 2020 so far. See how far we've come, or have we? Like, share, comment.